Hello guys, it's RagingRaptor here, and today I want to make with you guys a review about the Panther 8.8cm L71 gun. And basically, yes, this tank was just released today, and yes, this is at the moment in my garage, and yes, it is on a live server. And yes, I'm blue at the moment, but this is not important. But first of all, I want to make a little overview to show you my idea what I want to do in this review. First, I will make just some talk about my feeling at the moment after 10 games in the garage with the stats of the tank at the moment and the stats which I played with the crew, for example, or what is in the service record, the 10 games, mid stats. And then I will comment the first replay which I took, and then the second replay. And last but not least, I will make a little summary to show you guys for who this tank is intended to, or who should buy it. Because just to say it now, I have a feeling that this tank needs quite some skill, because you can't brawl or something like this like in a Type 95, and it doesn't have special matchmaking. But yeah, first let's have a look at the stats. In my garage as well I have the normal Panther, so we can probably compare it a little bit with that. But first, it's a Panther, yes. It has 1500 hit points, which is for a medium tank on tier 8 quite much. For example, when we have here the Pershing, this one is only 1440, which isn't that much. So this tank I think has the highest amount of HP as a medium tank. Only the Panther 2 has more. And this is of course only with... no, I'm not... Okay, now I'm not sure. I think he has more. Okay, at the moment I'm not sure. I would need it to see it, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on. And the next thing is the weight. It is 46.95 tons, where the normal Panther is 45. So here we can see again that the Panther 8.8 is heavier, of course probably as well because of the gun. The gun is of course heavier when you compared with this in-game wise. But also another thing which is really important is that the Panther, normal Panther, tier 7 Panther, has a better engine. It has the Maybach HL230 with 700 horsepower, while this tank has only, well, it has the same engine, it's heavier, and it has 2,500 rounds per minute, but it has 100 horsepower less. And this is, yes, I think, in my opinion, I can feel the difference. For that, as far as I know, the terrain resistance isn't that bad. Another thing which is really annoying when you compare it to this thing, this tank has 55 top speed, meanwhile the Panther 8.8 only has 46. He doesn't have any problems to reach it on flat surfaces, but downhill you really feel it. It's not really fine, and it's of course it's bad when you compare it. It's a tier higher and it has less top speed. But yeah, let's move on. The traverse speed is 40-80 degrees per second, which is okay. When you compare to the Panther, it's much better. The Panther is only 32. But also, when we here at the moment with the armor, the normal Panther has 85mm on the front, 50 on the side, and 40 on the back on the hull. Meanwhile, the Panther 8.8 has 80mm on the front. So again, it's slightly worse. 50 on the side and 40 on the back. But I here have to notice that the Panther has against HE shells the armor plates, and I think they're even modeled. So basically these are Schürzen, how we should call it, or side skirts. But I think these are more like the type of side skirts. These are more Schürzen. But anyway, let's move on. Now to the turret. The turret is exactly the same. It's a Schmalturm. Nothing special about it. 120 on the front, 60 on the side, and 60 on the back. As you can see as well, it has the same profile. But yeah, then the damage, the shell damage, is between 180 and 300. Or 240 mid. This is okay. Because you can also compare this tank with the FCM 50T. Only the FCM has a worse accuracy and a worse rate of fire. For that, a little bit more penetration. And the gold penetration is better on the FCM. But at the moment, I have to say, I play both tanks quite much. Of course, not much. I play them that I can make some thoughts about it. And I have to say, I like the 88cm KVK more. I think, in my opinion, it's more reliable than the 90cm DCA 45 gun. This is what I think about it at the moment at the gun. And when you compare it now to the Panther 2, well, the Panther 2 has a worse gun. For that, is a little bit more mobile. Because we can see here, of course, top speed is again better, and the armor is of course better as well. But yeah, when we look now here at the gun has 8.2 to rate of fire. Come on. Oh, don't go away. Yes, perfect. Where mine has 8.7. Of course, the average damage and the penetration stays the same, but the depression, not the dispersion, the accuracy is also quite better, and the aim time. And these two things, you will see them as well in the commentary videos, especially in the Kharkov battle. I feel the accuracy. I feel the better accuracy when I compare to all the playing of with the 88cm on the Panther 2. I really feel the accuracy. But yeah, back to the penetration. 203 damage is for tier 8 enough. For tier 9 it is as well, but for tier 10 is not. This is, I think, the biggest minus of this tank. The Czech Tiger 88 has a tier 9 armor with the same gun. A special matchmaking. The FCM, which I already showed, have more penetration, better armor, is even faster. Has special matchmaking. This tank is slower, it has less armor. Has less armor than this tank, is slower than this tank, and doesn't have special matchmaking. Yes, in my opinion, this is a really, really big drawback. But another thing which is really important to say, the gun is reliable. I don't really have problems with the gun in tier 10 matches. Of course, in these 10 matches which I made now, I had one tier 10 match. Lucky me, I don't know if this is normal, but I don't think so. But in this tier 10 match, I instantly got humiliated. First because an IS-7 which was retarded enough, that's why I got blue, because I detracked him afterwards, blocked me, so I didn't get the opportunity to get into my spot. And second, I was lit up and instantly everyone made WN8 new tank focus and I was dead. And this was just stupid. So yes, this is, in my opinion, the biggest minus. But yeah, let's move on. At the moment I have, with this crew, with this setup, 5.82 seconds reload. And this is quite good. You really punch DPM. Yeah, say it like this. The turret traverse with 42 degrees per second is also good. You can stay in bushes and do some damage. This is fine. And fuel range at the moment, 390 is quite good. With my crew, I have the opportunity to get 420 meters of fuel range, which is good. And oops, just 1 second. Multiply by So, at the moment in my configurations, this tank has 2474 damage per minute, which is really good. You can, in every minute, you can kill every tier 8 tank. And what is also good, the HE. It's a probably don't have much penetration, but just take a few with you. When I get into tier 10 battles, Waffle Trackers love HE. Rhinotails love HE. Nashorns love HE. The only drawback about the HE ammunition is it's only 55 damage more which you do, and yeah, it could be more, like 300 or 320. So yeah, now let's see what I achieved with this tank. Okay, nice, it worked. I have at the moment the bug that sometimes the whole game freezes when I click the vehicles button. Here it is. The first here you can see 10 games, 70% victory, and close to 1200 average XP per battle, and an ace tanker. And yes, I survived 60% of the games, and I have a quite high accuracy rate, 81, and this shows again the gun is quite accurate. My damage ratio is 2 and the destruction ratio is 3.5. I think you know what that is, of course, okay? Damage ratio, how much damage I made to how much damage I did. And the destruction ratio, how many kills I did to how many times I died. The armor use is of course fairly low because, yeah, it is bad, the armor, when you compare it to here, for example, or let me see, my Jack Panther should be better at 1.39. But yeah, let's move on. My average scores at the moment are, as I said, the experience close to 1200 and the damage cost to enemies 2200. And with 2200 average damage, you're close to get 80,000 plus credits. And this is quite good. I really don't have to say this is bad. My damage received is fairly high with 1130. I even have to say that the camouflage isn't that bad. The damage cost with my assistance is 540, so I do detrack, I do spotting sometimes, but not that much, because this tank is really a second line or a third liner. You have to stay sniping, not doing something like brawling or something like this. Except if you know that you will outgun the enemy and you know that you won't have any problems to penetrate him and you can rely on your skills as well as on your gun. You can rely on a gun 90%, but the 10% can sometimes fuck you up. The enemy vehicle spot is 1.2 per games and vehicle system 1.4 per battle. And my maximum experience was 1800, was already enough for an ace tanker. Of course not that high when you compared like here 2300 or here it was low as well. And the maximum damage was 3500 and the maximum destroy per battle is 3, so you can see it's not really extraordinary. To the awards, at the moment still no marks of excellence are accepted, I don't know. And yes, I have already 3 Confederate in 10 battles, so yeah, you can see this tank needs to be more the sniper helper guy. I think these rewards aren't that important. Here you can see that that I managed to do 17 shots without missing, which is also really good, and 8 shots without bouncing. And in 8 battles, as you can also see, I made more damage than my vehicle has HP, except for the tier 10 battle, which I got nuked. Yes, these are just these rewards. So I think at the moment in the garage you can say this tank is good in punching DPM and being a supporter. But now I think it's better when we go onto the battlefield. So guys, see ya in just 2 seconds. And here we are, the 2 seconds are over. And this is the first battle which I want to show you. And basically it is on Kharkov, a map which I don't really like. And here you of course can all see my XVM thingies from the pro mod. But yeah, anyway. It was quite a good battle for me because it had only 2 tier 9 tanks, and I also had the chance to get some damage from an AFK. But yeah. First of all, am I going to do on this map? We'll go to the right side on the C1 line, on the A line, B line, because there are mostly mediums. And yes, I have the camera fixed so you see what I did. So yeah, at the moment sometimes I spasm out. But here again, flat surfaces. I am on my top speed, no problems to reach it. And yes, I'm 5100 things. Oh, nice rocks. The turn rate wasn't that bad as well. And yes, and now we will have the chance to already encounter our first enemy. Sooner or later. And here we will see another problem. The gun depression is sometimes really bad. And here, quick snapshot, and I had the ability to detrack him. Here another shot which was known to bounce. And here this was just away from me, my fault, and here again, no problems. Now I can just make so much damage, I can just DP him out. This will mostly be his ammo rack. And another shot. And I can't do anything about it, except for waiting for his tracks to be repaired. And here, the accuracy. Pop! On 230 meters, no problems to hit. Again, a really close call. But I think you guys see that it shouldn't be that a big problem to snipe. And here was again the problem, the gun depression. I think it's something like -6. And here I just simply failed. I was so tunneling, that I didn't saw the Type 95 behind me. And I still had to fight with my gun depression. But here the Pershing was just stupid. 130 meters, no problems. I can just punch my DPM into his side. And he's dead. And now I see that the Type 95 is the only one left on this side. And I also see that the 5100 is rushing. So what do? Help him, of course. Here we go over, wait, and shoot. And pop. And I don't get much ram damage. Of course I have the ramming skill on the driver, but it's easy, it's a Panther. And now at 12 minutes 16 we are at 1800 damage. So we already killed a tier 8 tank by our own. Now on the next step we're driving up here, which we are on the E3 to get into the backs of the enemy. The Type 95 of course does the same thing. And yes, so let's move on. I was thinking, IS-8, nope. And because it was such a clear win, I thought, yeah, come on, just do some damage on an AFK. Of course, it's not honorable or something like this. But again, just punch that DPM. And yes, I waited to get the kill. Because I am trying to play for the WZ 111. And there the damage is of course full already, but I need the kills. So here I intentionally waited for the kill. Here a hasty snapshot which hit it, but yeah. And here some mistake of mine, I got the ammo rack, but yeah. No problem, the A44 finished him off. I had again, could make another shot without any troubles. And the last thing which is going to be is finishing off the E75. More like while driving, give him another shot. And finish him off. And stop. I think you already saw what was the clear advantage of this tank. Oop. Okay, like this. Huge DPM. 2400 showed what they can do. I also made a little mistake against the Tiger 1, the first one, because I just didn't focus his tracks. Because if I would focus his track, he would simply be dead. He couldn't have a chance to run away. But I think I wanted to get him blown up, because exactly where I was shooting a little bit higher from the two shots which hit was the ammo rack. Yeah, but I didn't manage to get it. On the T28 prototype you could see I wasn't ready. I was like, oh, oops, he's looking at me. And that's why I took a shot which also damaged my ammo rack. But in these 10 battles, which I received from full damage, full destroyed, to not so much damage, this was the first ammo rack hit which I got. So I don't have the feeling that the ammo rack is weak on this tank. On the E75 you had again the chance to see shooting while driving was a big problem with vertical stabilizer. I hit him and then I finished him. The DPM 5.8 seconds showed what they can. Conclusion: this battle, 3200 damage, 3 kills, which one was waited for, and 1 AFK of course, but it was a clear win. Yes, I received 2 shots and a little bit of ram damage, because I was a little bit greedy. But yeah, let's move on to the second little replay, which I will comment, to see another good thing about this tank, the other things. And then we come to the conclusion. Be right back in 2 seconds. And I am back after the 2 seconds break. And here we are again in a tier 9 battle. It looks like I make good battles in tier 9. But seriously, it's Lakeville, the perfect match, a perfect map to snipe. So what am I going to do? Of course, exactly, driving to the mid. The fact that our dear scout said he's going to the mid as well to spot was simply excellent. But yeah, we already saw that on medium range the sniping was really good, but now let's see what the flaw is about this sniping beast. Yes, it's a panther, it's a beast. And yes, again, we can see I just have to say I like panthers. I like how they look, and I really would like to have a Panzerkampf flying 4-5, the Panther chassis with the Panzer 4 turret. But yeah, anyway, now let's see, we casually drive into the middle to hope to get some spots from our deer Type 62 to punch again our DPM. And yes, up there a tree was falling again, so basically we didn't see everything. But oh, a KV4. First shot wasn't even aimed in. Simple hit. The aim time is quite long, but the ability to hit is really good. And we can see 3 shots, 3 hits. And no kill for me. The RHM denied it. We saw already that the T26E4 and the IS-3 went into hole. And here another great shot. This gun shows its potential. A little hasty, not so snapshotty, but while turret was moving, and a kill. And yes, here it will get a little bit boring because I didn't have the chance to get hits on the IS-3. But here again, and I think here you saw what is the big minus of this. The shells travel on a low speed. Of course it is AP and not APCR. But the shells are really slow, and I can imagine, for example, the Object 907, which I will get tomorrow. I hope so. have the same problem, because they buffed the penetration but they didn't give it APCR. So sniping will be quite hard and you have to lead quite much. And this leading has sometimes the problem that if an enemy gets detracked while you are leading hard, GG, you miss. And here another shot, detrack him, and the guys finish him off. Here I got spotted and yeah, the shell was too slow and I would have needed to turn the gun a little bit more. But still, till now, 1500 damage and it wasn't spotted once. Here the Type 62 says, oh please, you need to stress, come on, hello. And here we will also see a flaw of this tank. But first, again, a good snapshot. And I have to say, I like how accurate the gun is while moving. It's the same like on FV215B. The accuracy is really good. Here I decided to destroy the walls previous, so that if the STA-1 wants to drive to the other silo, he gets spotted. But we will see later that this didn't happen. Also, what you probably saw, the ammunition amount is quite high. 40 AP shots, 11 APCR and 5 HE, so I have enough to spam them. And the ammunition costs are quite low, I think it's only 200 per shell. Here I decided to move on because our Jack Tiger moved as well. I have some cover in front of me. And I'm still looking for the STA-1. And here, again, only a short aiming. I didn't need to aim the 2.5 seconds long. And here, yeah, I thought he will drive back more, but yeah. Here I tried again to hit him, but it was impossible. It was just impossible. Here I was thinking, the IS-8 could be a problem, but he was still behind. But yeah, let's move on. Quite some enemies left, huh? Again, hasty snapshot, no problem, it hit. And here I was really aggressive. I got quite punished for that. And stop. A Chiri without gold penetrating me. And yes, I got one penetration shot here on the gun. This was of course a really lucky shot, and I think this was the... I'm not sure, but I think this was the T26E4. Also good that my gun didn't broke. But here, the side armors. For a Chiri, this wasn't a really big problem to penetrate. And yeah, let's move on. Because we will see another bad problem. Here the gun missed. I had to say this was probably also my fault, but now... easy, no problem penetrating his weak spot. And even can outgun him. Here there was just a little fail that I bounced, but it can happen. But no problem. Finish him off. And then again, while driving, hitting him, no problem. Will I get kill? No, that's Centurion 7-1 said no. Here I was a little bit greedy, just got him. But again, stop. Let's see. Yeah. He penetrated the upper hull, and this is something I really dislike. The Panther on tier 7 has 85mm of armor frontally. And this one is only 80. Still it's angled of course, but no, it's stupid. It's stupid that the Chiri can penetrate. Because the Chiri has not good penetration. It has 145 or 155, I'm not sure. This, yeah. Anyway, let's move on and finish this. Here you can also see we are now on soft terrain, and the terrain resistance is quite good. I still reach 30 kilometers on the flat surface. And yes, now it gets a little bit worse, I think. Yeah, but I think, oops, when I go again, you can see the gun depression frontal is really bad. On the side it's a little bit better. And here I just waited for the AMX 3090. But I knew I didn't have a chance to get him. And then our dear team thought, nah, come on, let's let him survive. And yes, in conclusion, you can see this was the battle which I made the most damage. Good sniping, no bouncer, even from tier 7 guns, which are weak, no bounces. But I think this replay showed you as well the full potential of the sniping damage. And the drawback of the more or less slow travel speed of the ammunition. And I think now it is time to go back to the garage and have a look, a conclusion, a summary of what I think of this tank, if I would recommend it to several types of gamers or of World of Tanks players. So, see ya in 2 seconds. And we're back in the garage. And yeah, let's see. I think from these 2 replays you can see that this tank is meant to be a sniper. From the gun, from the armor, from the damage per minute. And this is what I think is really hard for example, casual players to get to some places where they know they won't get spotted and they can make damage. I think this is a really big problem. So in conclusion, for a casual player, I have to say I wouldn't recommend it. Only if you're a really huge Panther fan, because with getting used to it, you will have a good time with this tank. But when you are new to World of Tanks, or partly new, and you don't have such a good crew for this tank, excuse me, cut that out. It will be really hard for you, because you have to be patient, and this is something which most people also have a problem with. Me too, as well. This is outstanding. I am impatient. But sometimes I really have to say to myself, now stay and wait, otherwise you get killed. This is in the Panther 100, so this is in this tank, so in my opinion, for a casual player, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to get to this tank, to know it by heart, get over his flaws like bad gun depression, bad armor, bad top speed, learn how to use it, have an already quite good crew, then I have to say you will have fun with this tank. It is enjoyable to play with, the gun is really good and it helps you, it doesn't fucks you up so much. And then I have to say, buy it. Oh, for a good player, for a player which is on my level, I have to say, you mostly won't need a premium tank, but it is worth thinking of it, because the DPM is really an argument, it has a good view range for the tier 8 medium, just this special matchmaking should be here. So for casual players which don't really are interested in getting used to a tank, no. If you want to get used to a tank, yes. For good players, if you want a premium, I think there will be buffs incoming, so yes. And now the conclusion. The pros are, as I said, good gun, fairly good mobility, and the damage per minute. The flaws are bad armor, even worse than the one of the tier 7 tank. Another flaw is no special matchmaking. And in my opinion, the third big flaw is that the top speed is limited to 46 km per hour. And I think, I hope I showed you guys this tank good enough. And I think this review is now something like 25 minutes to 30 minutes long. I hope this is good for you. I didn't want to make it too long. I hope with these two commentary replays you saw what are the goods and as I said, the drawbacks and the good thing about this, the advantages of this tank. When you know where to shoot, you don't have a problem to penetrate. The gun is simply amazing. I had it so long on the E50 till I got the 105mm gun. I didn't have any problems in tier 8 and tier 10 matches. The tier 9, tier 10 matches. But still, this tank is at the moment good. If it would be great, it needed special matchmaking. And this is the problem, just the special matchmaking. With special matchmaking, this tank would be great, and I would have to say, for every player class, buy it. For casual players, for good players, buy it. It's good. But the special matchmaking makes it worse. And if the statistics show, I think they will probably going to introduce it like they did on the AT-15A. Already had long time not special matchmaking, but then they gave it to it. And I think this tank will get it as well. And as last, if you want to buy it, wait for 9.6, as probably there will be buffs incoming and should be available in the in-game store, and then just wait for a discount, because with discount this tank is really fine. Yes, I brought this tank with my Christmas money, so yeah. Fuck me, huh? But anyway, guys, thank you so much if you watched till now. If you liked it, of course, push the thumbs up button. Tell me if you want to see more, mostly premium vehicles, reviews, because I think you already saw down there, I have a lot of premium vehicles. I am a messy, if it is in this case. Make a comment, what was good, what was bad, what should I do better in a review, in a long time review, in a full review, not just a sneak peek. And of course, if you want to see more of me, more of the latest World of Tanks Super Test news, more of the latest premium tank news, more of World of Tanks in any case, subscribe. And if you want to see more RNG videos of myself, send me the link with your what replays, and then I will try to manage it. And guys, as always, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and good luck on the battlefield.